When this wolf was born, even his own pack believed he would never survive. He was smaller than the others, weaker than the others, slower than the others. While the other cubs learned to run, fight, and hunt, he could barely keep up. They all believed he was born to fail. But sometimes, the ones the world gives up on first become the ones it remembers forever. Deep in the frozen mountains during the harshest winter in years, a wolf cub was born. His name was Kyle. But unlike the other cubs, Kyle was fragile. His tiny legs trembled whenever he tried to stand. His breathing was weak. His body was smaller than the rest. The pack watched him with doubt. As the months passed, the difference only became clearer. The other cubs grew stronger with each passing day. They ran faster, jumped higher, learned to hunt. But Kyle always stayed behind. Whenever the cubs raced through the snow, Kyle stumbled. Whenever they practiced hunting, he failed, and there was one wolf who never let him forget it. Ragnar, the strongest young wolf in the pack, confident, powerful, fearless. Every day Ragnar mocked Kale, "You are too weak for this life." Those words echoed in Kale's mind. One day the pack leader announced something important. The young wolves would join their first hunt. For Kale, this was his chance, his one opportunity to prove everyone wrong. As the wolves chased their prey across icy cliffs, Kyle pushed himself harder than ever before. But in one careless moment, his paw slipped. Kyle crashed into the ice. The prey escaped. The hunt failed. Silence filled the air. The pack stared at him with disappointment. Kyle lowered his head. In that moment, he believed every cruel word they had ever said. That night, heartbroken and ashamed, Kyle made a choice. He left alone. He walked away from the only home he had ever known, into the endless storm. No family, no pack, no direction, only silence and failure. Hours passed. Kale grew weaker with every step, hungry, frozen, exhausted. Eventually, he collapsed beneath a snow-covered pine tree. His eyes slowly began to close. And just before darkness took over, a shadow appeared through the falling snow. It was Orion, an old lone wolf, scarred by time, older, slower, walking with a slight limp, yet his eyes carried something Kale had never seen before. Wisdom. Orion looked down at the weak cub and said nothing. Instead, he turned and walked away. Kale hesitated, then followed. Orion led him to a frozen lake beneath the moonlight. The ice reflected Kale's small, fragile body. Kale looked at his own reflection with disappointment. Then Orion finally spoke. "Stop looking at what you are today." Kale slowly raised his eyes. "And start building what you can become." Those words changed something inside him. For the first time, Kyle stopped feeling sorry for himself and started training. Day after day, Orion pushed him harder, not to become bigger than others, not to become faster than others, but to become stronger than the wolf he was yesterday. Kale ran through deep snow until his legs burned. He climbed icy cliffs until his paws bled. He learned patience, discipline, endurance, focus. While others slept, Kale trained. Winter passed. And with every sunrise, Kale changed. Not overnight, not magically, but slowly, consistently, powerfully. Then one night, disaster struck. A brutal snowstorm trapped Kale's old pack deep in the mountains. Food was gone, paths were buried, the wolves were starving. Cold, weak, desperate. Kale saw everything from afar. He could have ignored them. He could have walked away forever. After everything they had done to him, no one would have blamed him. But Kale understood something now. True strength is not revenge. True strength is character. Without hesitation, Kale ran into the storm. Using everything Orion had taught him, He guided the trapped wolves through hidden mountain paths. He found shelter, tracked prey, and led them to safety. The same wolves who once doubted him now followed him. Even Ragnar stood frozen in disbelief. He could not believe what he was seeing. The weakest wolf in the pack had become the strongest among them all. Not because he was born stronger, but because he refused to stay weak. As the sun rose over the mountains, Kael stood proudly on the highest cliff. No longer the wolf everyone pitied, no longer the cub everyone doubted. Now, he was the one they trusted, the one they followed, the one they respected, and that is the truth about strength. Strength is not something you are born with, it is something you build. In silence, in struggle, in failure. So never let your beginning decide your ending. Some people start later. Some people grow slower. Some strengths take time to build. Just because you start weak does not mean you stay weak. Your struggle is not your identity. It is your training.